All right, y'all, I'm going to do this real quick. And then, I got to do this. So there's a post that said I got kicked out of the group because that girl, that Karen, got me blocked for 24 hours. So I can't post in no groups. But luckily, we still can do lives. So there's a post that says, older men, what advice do you have for younger men? What would you tell younger men in their 20s and 30s? It said men in your 40s. What advice would you tell men in their 20s and their 30s? Number one, 20 to 40, that ain't shit. That's number one. Because when you're 20 years old, 20 to 25, you look at 40 like, oh shit, that's some long ass shit. 40, that's a long way away. No, it's not. You're talking about 15 years, dog. Even though 15 years is a long time, it's really not. It's really not, dog. And you got to look at it that way. So that would be number one on my list. 20 to 40, it's really the same thing. It's not, it's so small. But the thing is, you can do so much, or you can do so little. You know what I mean? From 20 to 40, you can do so much, or you can do so little. You could become Jay-Z. I'm just giving you examples. You could become Jay-Z, or you could become a broke bum smoking dope. You're going one way. You're either going up or down. So that's my first thing. My first advice would be, time is short. You don't have time like you think. When you're 20, I know you don't grasp it. When you're 20 years old, you do want, like when I was 20, I always wanted to do better. Like I wanted to quit smoking weed and this and that. You know what I mean? Cause I kind of fucked up at a younger age, selling drugs and shit at a younger age. So by the time I was 20, I was kind of like trying not to be in trouble. I still wanted to kick it, run the streets and shit, but I wanted to do it in a more responsible way without getting in trouble type shit. Like I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to get in trouble doing it. But when you're around 20, man, not all 20-year-olds, some of them just gone right now, but you got some younger 20-year-old dudes, they want to do better and they understand why they should do better and shit like that, but it just doesn't click. Some people, they get it. Like some people are blessed, man. They really get it at a young age. Some women get it at a younger age. That's just what it is. But they probably had guidance. They probably had a lot of mentoring and shit like that. But for the most part, when you're that young, it just doesn't click. You hear what I'm saying. Like a 20-year-old dude could be watching this video right now, hear everything I'm saying, but it still doesn't register the same way that it would register if he was 40 years old or 30 or something. But just understand that it's 20 to 40, it's right around the corner. So that means you got to get on your shit. You don't have time to play. You do not have time to play. Really, you should have been starting this journey of trying to become this great guy at 15. But everybody don't have mentors. That's where a lot of young men drift off from about 15, because that's when I started drifting off. From like 15, that's when they start drifting off. Especially if you don't have guidance like that. And sometimes people have guidance, but they're hard-headed. But they have a better chance of not drifting off when they have guidance. You know what I mean? So back to what I was saying. The number one thing I would tell them is you don't have time. You know what I mean? That's the number one thing. That's your most important thing. That's really the most important thing when it comes to life in general, time. You're not getting it back. So you got to get on your shit right now. Now that we got that cleared up, let's talk about some other shit. I would say the next most important thing other than time when it comes to men trying to get their shit together. Hold on, let me say one more thing. Do not wait until you're 20. Well, some of y'all, most people who are going to watch my videos, you're probably older than 20. But maybe you got kids or little brothers or something. Maybe you can pass some shit down to them. Don't wait until you're 20 to start getting your shit together. Cause really at 21, there's 21-year-olds really on their shit. You know, they about to go to the NBA or some shit. You know, you can't do certain things. Like, you can't wait until 21, then you get your shit together. Cause some dreams, like the NBA and shit like that, you had to be on your shit from 15, 14. Like, boxers like Floyd and them, they was doing that since babies, basically. So there's certain things that you're not going to be able to do anymore if you wait too late. And some of those things are like the NBA. Now, I know somebody going to say you could still go to the NBA if you in your 20s, blah, blah, blah. You possibly could be a walk-on and get signed, all right? I get it. But what's the chances of that shit happening? For one, you probably wasn't sharp on your skills like that. Because if you was, you'd probably be in college or something about to get drafted. So you probably wasn't on your shit like that. So you, some dude off the street, about to try to go play with professionals and shit. Good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? Probably ain't in shape, all kind of shit. You're playing with the big boys. You're not playing with people around your neighborhood where you look like you're Jordan. You know, you're not going to look like you're Jordan against this competition. But I say once a dude, shit, man, dudes should be on their shit once they 13. You know, once they become a teenager, they really should be like, if they got their guidance from their dad, it should start there. But we all know it don't start there all the time. So, you know, the reason why I want to say that, because I want y'all to understand that certain things in life, man, if you don't catch that window, you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to do it. Like, you can't go play in the NBA at 40 or some shit. But you really can't do it once 21 and all that shit. It's kind of too late. You know what I mean? It kind of is too late. I mean, I guess there's exceptions, but for the most part, we know that it's too late. You're supposed to be already on that shit for 15. So, and that's just one thing. There's other shit that you gotta be on your shit before a certain age. But luckily, there's shit that is more age friendly. Like, you still could be a doctor or certain things like that if you start trying to get your life together at 21. So, but the sports and shit like that, that's probably pretty much done. So, but the same rules apply and the same moral of the story applies. Time. You got to catch these frames. All right. So that would be my number one thing. I know I said that 10 times already, but that would be my number one thing. From 15 to 40. No, I'm going to say from 20 to 40. It's really not as long as you think. You know, it seemed like a long time, but it's really not. It's really not, man. Especially when you start working and been busy and all that shit. Time gonna fly. You know, and not even mention like people going to jail and shit like that. 18 years old going to jail, getting felonies and shit, kind of fucking up chances of a lot of shit. You know, when you waste time, since we're on the subject of time, when you waste time, you gotta play. The more time you waste, the more you're gonna have to play catch up later in life. You know what I mean? Now, some people, they never want to be nothing. They don't care if they ever be anything. But we're assuming that people who's watching this video wants to be something. So, the more time you waste, the more time you take to become a man, because as a man, you got to earn your shit. You're not going to be, it's not like most females, you know, they look good and they get put on this high pedestal. That don't work with you. You know what I mean? You got to earn your shit. Guaranteed. Sometimes a woman does, sometimes they don't, but because they could look good and get everything handed to them. But you don't have that option. Maybe every now and then, but you really don't have that option. So I'm going to just say that, time is the most important thing, because you got windows that you're going to miss if you're not careful. And the longer y'all wait to get your shit together, the harder it's going to be. You're going to have to play catch up, you know, and if you're a woman watching, same thing. You know what I mean? But this is about the men, so it's whatever. I should have probably just done it for everybody, for real. You know, because I could touch on that shit with females too. Because women like to play around and have fun, which is nothing wrong with that. But you're going to have to do it in a kind of responsible way, because you could really fuck up your life and put yourself way behind. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say it no more. Time would be the most important thing. From 20 to 40, it's not what you think. You think it's some long way away, and it's not. It's not. So, you gotta get the ball rolling now. You don't have time. I feel like everybody feel like in their 20s, this is the time to play and this and that. And like I said, you don't have time because your 20s is going to determine basically you can still catch up in your 30s. You could catch up anytime. It's never too late. But for the most part, you miss certain windows that you're not going to get if you wait until after your 20s. Just like if you don't jump on NBA playing in the NBA or something when you're a teenager. You're going to miss it if you decide to do it at 25. It's too late. It's just too late. You know? So same thing with a lot of other shit when it comes to life. Do not play around in your 20s. Play later. I know a lot of people telling you to play now, you young and play now. No, play later. Or find a balance. If you can handle it, most people can't in their 20s. But if you can handle having fun and still being responsible, then hey, you're good. But most people can't. So that's how most people fuck up their life. But I would say do not take your 20s is the time that you gotta grind hard. Your hardest for real. You should be grinding your hardest in your 20s and 30s. And then once you get in your 40s, you should be ready to retire. But a lot of people are telling y'all, play around and take it easy. Then in your 40s, go hard. You might miss a window. Remember like that NBA window? Well, if you play around in your 20s and 30s, a lot of other windows you might be missing. You could have owned businesses or some shit by 40. But you wanted to play in your 20s, so now you got to play catch up. Remember what I said earlier. The more time you take to do this grown man shit, the harder it's going to be. The choice is on you. And then let's just say like certain things take energy and all that, and you waiting until you're older and now you want to do it. You got to be doing this shit now. Imagine if people decided to start doing certain jobs that pay good but is physical at 50 or something. It's going to be super hard. They should have been doing that in their 20s, retired at 50 type shit. So time, man, that's all I can't stress enough. Time's number one. Number two, it's females. And I hate to say it, but if you got a good one at a younger age, you better just settle the fuck down. And I don't mean you got to get married and all that shit, but I'm talking about don't be trying to be out here sleeping with everybody. It's just a bad idea. If you got a good one, because the longer you wait, this is another thing that can cost you the window. The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to find a decent chick. It's not impossible because some women preserve themselves just like some men. But the longer, even a female, the longer she waits, the harder it's going to be because men going to be bald and all kind of shit. 5 baby mamas, need gas station pills to get hard. I can go on and on and on. She gonna have to settle for less the longer she wait. That's why that feminist bullshit is a lie. Party until you're 30, girl, then pick the guy. Why would you do that? Now you got to pick from men who've been hurt and got trust issues and all that. It's not impossible. And I get the concept of get your shit together as a woman first. But if you find a good dude, why would you wait? It don't make sense. What are you waiting on? You know what I mean? But people do this shit. If you go to college, you're going to see a lot of dudes partying with girls and sleeping with girls and all that. Dog, they not going to make it, bro. They plan too much. They plan way too much. Now, if you want to do that to a certain extent, you better have some balance. You better be hitting books or whatever fuck you got going on. But most people can't balance shit out. That's why I really would just try to avoid it. A woman is going to be a stumbling block. And when I say woman, I don't mean like all women, because if you got a good one, I already said this shit. If you really think you got a good solid chick that want to stay out the way and shit at a young age, you better pick it now. Because once a woman go bad, good luck. This is what I mean. The longer you wait as a man, you want to be a player, you want to be hard-headed and shit. You got that good young girl, right? You want to be a hard-headed player and shit. I'm telling you, it's going to come back and burn you later. Should have picked the girl while they was younger and they wasn't all fucked up, right? Not saying that every older woman's fucked up, but it's going to be harder. You get what I'm saying? Plus, when you're dealing with a bunch of women, I'm going to sleep around and have fun. That's energy taken away from you. That's focus taken away from you. How the fuck you going to become LeBron James or some shit like this and you got all these women that you're dealing with? It's not going to happen, dog. It's going to be almost impossible. But what if you have just one girl that's actually helping you and motivating you and shit like that? All you got to do is give your energy to her as far as women go instead of 10, 20 different women and shit. And she actually is down for you. She ain't just there to play and then be fucking another guy next week and all this shit. Now you're stressed out. Now you're crying and ready to commit suicide and shit because the girl you fucking with somebody else type shit. Or you're in jail. Or you have a kid by her. Now you're on child support. All these things matter. So when men say, it don't matter, dog, we men, we can fuck who we want. Yeah, if you don't care about your fucking worth and reaching your full potential as a man, then go ahead. Fuck who you want. But if you do, more than likely, that shit gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. You can even ask men who chose to sleep around. In some way, they got fucked somehow, some way. Just like the women who chose to party around and shit. And I'm not here to knock that. Do what you do. But I'm here to point out what's real. I feel the best thing is to pick a solid chick or just focus on becoming a better guy and just kind of stay to yourself. You know, but do not just sleep around and don't do it, man. It's not worth it. I know it look like they winning and they having fun, but in the end, you're going to be able to pick any woman you want and you're going to have the success. You're going to have a boat or whatever you want, the house, the boat, the cars, whatever. They more than likely not because they traded that, you know, what it takes to get to that, you know, the sacrifice. They traded that for now. Now I want the pussy and the party and now, you know, and like Pac said, you let the ghetto get the best of you, right? That could apply in that same situation with men. Or you could just say, like the 50 Cent, damn, homie, in college, you was the man, homie type shit. Then you fell off because you can't do all that playing and still become some successful man. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to pick something, dog. You're going to have to keep it to a bare minimum or at nothing at all. You know what I mean? Nothing at all, man. You choose. You choose. So the women are going to be your stomach block. That's number 2. Not sure, but a woman she could be your helpmate too if she's the right one. You know what I mean? And like I said, man, don't think like the feminists think, well, men are always going to be there later in the finish line. Yeah, but what men? It's going to be slim pickings. Yeah, there's some dudes that preserve themselves and still solid at 40 and shit like that. And there's some women, but it's slim. They probably already got a bunch of kids and all type of shit. So you don't want to do that, man. If you got that good girl, unlike most of these dudes telling you get pussy and all this shit, I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. It's not worth it. You better be like LeBron. The perfect example I can give you, most basketball players who chose to sleep around and have fun and be the player versus LeBron, who had that girl, Savannah, right? Before he made it and shit. He's almost a billionaire and look at them. A lot of them lead the league broke. They're on child support, all type of shit. You know what I mean? And that's more, now that's not concrete guaranteed. If you do this or that, that's not going to happen, this or that, blah, blah, blah. But it's a better chance that you'll probably be like LeBron if you pick the solid girl versus I'm going to play around with girls. You should have already done that when you was 15 to 18. You should have been playing around with girls then. It's time to grow the fuck up. You 21 to 25 and you still trying to sleep with every woman and shit. I'm telling you, time is short. The women are going to get worse and worse. You better pick the good ones before they go bad. That's all I can tell you. There's nothing more to say. The third thing I would tell you is treat it like your first project. So many men I see at my job, They get a little bit of money here and there, and then they start slacking off, calling off. I'm good and this and that. I don't want the extra work. I'm cool. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. If million and billionaires can go broke, anybody can go broke. You got to treat everything like your first project. And that's not just with work. That's with your craft of what you're trying to do. If you're trying to be a basketball player, doctor, whatever. You have to treat it like it's your first day at it. You know how you be interested in something from when you first start doing it type shit? You gotta keep it like that. Like you get a new car, you clean that motherfucker all the time and shit. You gotta keep it like that. You gotta treat everything in life like your first project, man. Year 18, I'm still getting up, going to work. I'm working more now than I did then. I used to have less routes then. Now I got more. You would think motherfuckers would be like, nah, I'm good. No, you don't want to do that. You want to keep going hard, man. Because the harder you go and get this shit over with, the quicker you will be able to kick back and enjoy the fruits of your labor later. You don't want to be all old and you can't enjoy the fruits. No, you want to still be able to move around and enjoy that shit, man. But the quicker you get the shit out the way, the quicker you'll be able to do that. You want to procrastinate, you're making it harder for yourself, man. So yeah, man, fucking rain and shit be fucking me up sometimes. Allergies and shit. I got some pills for that. I need to take some of that when I get home. Now that I think about it. Yeah, man. And it ain't just with success. What about, it's your health? Some people go to the gym a couple months. I ain't getting no more women than I thought. Fuck it, I'm gone. No. And the same thing with a woman. You get a woman, right? You gotta treat it like a first project. Because if you don't, you're gonna lose her. A lot of men get the woman, but they don't keep the woman. I got her in the bag now, nigga. I ain't tripping, dog. You know what I mean? She all on my dick type shit. This is a problem. Not only is it with success, it also is directly towards you as a person, how you take care of yourself. And if you got a woman, same thing. If you become a father, same thing. You gotta treat it like it's your first project, man. I think that's about it, man. I think if you do those three things, and of course, we all know God, of course, right? Stand humble and stuff like that. Why y'all think Floyd versus other boxers, Floyd didn't lose and other boxers did? It wasn't necessarily because they wasn't good enough, right? It was because some of those boxers, I'm a party tonight, man. I'm good. I know I got to fight next week, but nobody can beat me, dog. I'm the best. You know what I mean? I ain't got to train for that. Mike Tyson. I got to train for Buster Douglas, man. For what? Man, I'm knocking him out easy. And then you lose. You know what I mean? Or you could treat it like your first project. That's why Floyd didn't lose, man. He still trained and shit like it was his first fight. You know what I mean? His first pro fight. You gotta keep that same energy, man. And I guess this will be the last one for the young ones, because this is a tough one. You're going to have to learn how to listen to people older than you. I know that's kryptonite like a motherfucker as a man, especially when you're young, because you think you know everything, but you don't. There's people in their 50s who, there's people in their 50s, the people in their 80s will look at like, you don't know shit, you still a baby. Because we never stop growing. And if we do, you might as well just kill yourself. Go play in traffic. You got to keep learning, because when you keep learning, that's going to cover all of life, whether you pick the wrong girl or all this shit. Learn how to work money and all that. Your brain is the most important thing. So how you going to get a lot of that? You ain't going to just learn. It ain't going to just fall out of thin air. Knowledge don't just fall out of thin air. You know what I mean? You get that from people. God sends people your way, teaches you things. Somebody might say something that sticks with you forever. You're like, man, I remember when what's the name said that, and then you apply it to your life. But you want to be a hardhead, don't want to listen, want to do everything your way, and you just got it all figured out, you're going to fall by the sword 9 times out of 10. Because even the great people who are great in life and great teachers and shit like that, they listened. They still listen. But what really got them where they at, for the most part, they listen, man. Does that mean you gotta agree with everything people say? Nah, but you gotta listen. At least taking it to consideration. Because I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. A lot of stuff that I learned from people, I didn't necessarily agree with everything they said, but I got something out of it. You see what I mean? I got something out of this cousin. Got something out of this cousin. This, you know what I mean? This friend and that friend. I get something from everybody. And some of y'all might say, well, he's a crackhead on the corner. What the fuck can he teach me? He could probably teach you how not to end up like that. In fact, sometimes people who make the most mistakes have a lot of the most knowledge when it comes to life. You shouldn't look at it as, well, look where he's at, and then he don't know shit, and this guy's up here doing great in life, so he knows everything. It don't work that way. If you think that, you're a fool. So listen, man. Listen to older people. A lot of these older people aren't just saying shit just to say it because they got a fucking voice. They're actually trying to help you, man. I was always okay with listening. I don't understand why younger people aren't. Now, does that mean I wasn't hard-headed and some shit you're just going to learn on your own because you're just not going to listen. You just got to find out on your own. But I would say that that's something that young men, really it's all of us, everybody, really all of this applies to all of us. That's another thing. Age is really irrelevant. You know what I mean? That's why I say from 20 to 40 is like, boom, just like that. You think it's long, but it's not. But back to what I was saying. We all have to learn how to listen and learn from people. That's the only way. If you think that I don't learn from people, even if I don't like them, they could teach me something. Straight up. I'm always willing to learn. You got to have that open mind. And then the Most High will help you decipher and dissect down what's right. That's what I mean by I got a little bit of I watched this video today, this YouTube video, and I got a couple of things out of it. But some people tell you, anything on YouTube is wrong, dog. It's all wrong. But everything on fucking lying ass, the news, the media is right. Come on now. You can't be this dumb. You can't be this dumb. You don't have to, when you listen to people or you're trying to learn stuff, whether you're reading books or whatever, you don't have to take it all. You don't have to agree with all of it. Just like when I make videos for y'all. You know what I mean? Or y'all make videos for me. You think I listen to a video of somebody and everything in there, I got something out of that or I agree with all that? No. But the fact of the matter is I know I'm going to get something from it. So that makes me willing to listen and give it a shot. And same thing when I'm talking to people. Like, let me let him talk for a second. See what he's saying. See if he says something that I could use or something. I'm telling you, this is so crucial, man. You know what I mean? No successful person was successful off of not learning off of people. It's bullshit. Most especially financially, most financial people, men who are successfully financially, learned and listened from somebody. They didn't just wake up and boom, they had it figured out. Don't work that fucker way, man. Even if you playing basketball, somebody teaching you some shit. You ain't gonna just learn it all on your own. You might find a way to how to master it in your own way. But you're gonna need some gems from people, man. And that's what people need to realize. Become a listener more than a fucking, a talker. And don't ever think you know it all. Don't ever think you know it all, because when you don't think you know it all, it's a sign of humbleness and that's a sign of an open mind. And that means you're going to learn You're going to become more wiser and wiser and wiser and wiser. And you're never going to stop. But you just gotta allow God to help you within your spirit and your mind to dissect down what's what. Like, that's no good. All right, but that part, and that's where God come into play. For real. Ain't no way around that shit, man. That's when God come into play. You're not going to agree with everything everybody say, but some of y'all, this is why when I ain't going to say kids, but people don't listen to their parents, and then later in life, they start to listen to their parents more, or they even go to the parents and ask questions because they start to realize that the parents are right. But when they was younger, they thought they knew everything. You know how it is when you're 20 years old. You think you know everything, but you didn't know shit. Look at somebody that's 30 or 40. If you're 30 or 40, I want you to look back and ask yourself, you might knew some shit, but you really ain't know shit. I think I know a lot of shit now, but I don't look at it in that light because I want to learn more. So I don't act like, I got it all figured out. No, I'm never going to do that. Because once I do that, that means I stop listening and learning. Listening to people and learning and shit. Can't do that, man. I think that's about it. There's probably more, but I don't want to keep rambling right now. But I think that's it, man. Thick discipline. That goes back to the women. Yeah, that's probably it, man. Of course, God, we all know that. You know what I mean? But all that's bundled up with God. You know what I mean? God's everything. So all that's bundled up. But I guess I could say one more thing. Don't let failure define you. And don't let success define you either. So in other words, it's a marathon, not a race. Don't be doing cartwheels because you're winning. You still got to treat shit like your first project. See? I'm ahead of the race, but I'm treating it like my first project. How? I'm still running my ass off. Yeah, I got them beat by 2 miles. I'm still running my ass off. You see what I'm saying? Versus I got it in the bag. I'm about to do this and that. Don't do that. You know what I mean? I made the NBA now. Now I'm about to be reckless and speed and all this and then end up in jail for 3 years. Rajon Rondo. OJ. You want to be that? Nah. You know what I mean? Baby, Lil Baby, whatever the fuck you call that rapper. On top of the world. What they say? What dude say? I don't know who said this, but he said one day you could be on top of the world, then the next day the world could be on top of you. But also, even if you losing right now in life, life's beating you down and shit. It's a marathon, not a race. So don't stop running. Just like the person ahead in the race is doing cartwheels and shit. You know what I mean? Which he shouldn't be doing. He should still be going hard. You still got to treat it like a project, your first project. Yeah, I'm behind, but I'm still going to catch up. I fucked up in life. I did this and that, and it got me behind in the race of life, but I'm going to catch up. I'm going to treat it like it's my first project. I'm going hard, 110%. So I think that's it, man. Maybe I'll just make a part 2 later, because I don't want to just say shit. You know what I mean? I want to say meaningful shit. So that's it, man. I had a good time, today. Time for me to retire this shit, go to bed, and I ain't got to wake up tomorrow until I feel like it. And that's a wonderful thing. But yeah, man, I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. 20-year-olds, try to look at it. One more thing. 20-year-olds, try to look at it. Try to look at life like a 40-year-old. You know what I mean? Try to put yourself in the shoes of older men and try to move like that. Because you're going to lead by example when it comes to people in your age group. You know what I mean? The successful men out of the young age groups are going to be the ones that move differently. They move like grown men, not like teenage boys. At some point, you're going one way or the other. You're either going up in life or you're going down. That's why I say once you had your fun as a teenager, all right, now it's 18 to 21 type shit, 18 to I even say 18 to 30 if you want to stretch it, because, you know, the wide audience, you know, now's the time, you know what I'm saying? It's you're either going up or you're going down. You're either going up or you're going down. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to succeed? I want to succeed a lot. Oh, it's not about money. Money ain't everything. Everybody know money ain't everything. But making sure if I have kids, they good, that's everything. Making sure if I have a wife, she good, that's everything. Living life to the fullest, because we only got one life, that's everything. You know what I mean? It's deeper than money. Your health, that's everything. All this shit. Wisdom, that's everything. I can go on and on. It's deeper than just money. It's all of it. But that's a bad attitude to have. Like, yeah, money ain't everything. I'm calling off tomorrow. I don't want to do that. See, that's a person that's half stepping in the fucking race. We got this route open and we're going to give you $500 bonus. Nah, I'm good. I don't want to do it, man. This is the type. And then guess what? Them same people, it's like the people who get their income tax. I got the income tax. Now I'm about to act a belligerent fool. And then I'll be broke in fucking 2 months. Instead of I got my income tax and I'm still going hard. Yeah, I want that extra work. So I can get even more ahead in life. Treating shit like your first project. You get what I'm saying? Can't stress this shit enough to y'all, man. The younger people, like I said, man, think like you're older. And you'll be good. You still can be young and have fun like young people. Older people should too, by the way. To a certain extent, older people need to think like they're younger. Instead of, oh, I'm about to die and, you know, I will just do whatever. I'm about to die any fucking way and I'm too old to do this and I'm too old to lift weights and whatever. Some of that shit, older people need to think like younger people. But I'm 100% sure that younger people definitely need to think like older people. You got to, man. That's your best bet, man. But it's difficult because you're young. You just don't see it. You don't see it the same way, man. And it takes a hell of a smart young person to grasp on shit, man. Because you just don't see it the same fucking way. You just don't. That's unfortunate. But it's the truth. I guess that's all I could say, man. I mean, there's nothing more really to say, you know? I'm going to get at y'all on the next one.